So, but I guess we're able to accomplish the task. So maybe.
I hit broadcast, so we're live now.
Cool.
I'm back in Miami. I was going hard working on my passion project, and then once I came back to Miami, it's really hard.
All the sun and sand.
Nah, I have co-inhabitants with me, and my time is taken from me. And then I still am juggling 2 clients. And yeah, I'm just pulled in all types of directions. My contract is coming up with my full-time gig. So I'm trying to figure out if I need to go hard into, I don't even know how people even network to find their next contracts. You just spam LinkedIn. Do you buy LinkedIn Premium? You just start spamming people? Do I just start creating hella open source projects and then like start linking everywhere, and hopefully I attract somebody based on what I put out that knows somebody that can provide a lucrative contract? Like, I don't know, man.
I guess you just grind. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. So, but I mean, I know there's sites that will post contract work. So, but
the difference
it's gonna be all web.
Competing on a global platform with people that have a third of the cost of living.
Maybe it's time to get out of the software game. Maybe it's time to get out of the software development role and start to think about starting your own firm.
I've been thinking about that the whole time. I feel
recruit good developers and then find contracts for them.
I feel like to remedy the situation that I find myself in and a lot of other Americans, I feel like I just need to have my own secret clearance. I mean, I have a public trust clearance, but like I feel like I have to position myself to be qualified to do government work in order to secure lucrative contracts that are consistent, right? Where I don't go another 8 months without professional, gainful employment, because that's getting old. It's cool for the first like 2 months. You take a break, then 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. You're like, yo, how come I'm not getting anything? And the things that I do get, they're all like bottom of the barrel, like pay or people that they want me to work with. All right, so yeah, man. I guess it's luxurious problems. I guess. So, you quit your job yet?
Not yet, but I've got an offer on the table with another place, and I was going to let them know by today or early next week. So I'm kind of excited about it. There's also some, some potential with what I'm doing now. So it's kind of in this spot where I don't necessarily know what to do, but I think I'll probably end up taking it. It's time to move on and grow. I'm pretty stagnant right now.
Is it a lateral move or is it like what type of work?
It's basically a lateral move. The pay is about the same. Benefits are pretty much a wash. So it'll be contract, development with a firm. So
You can negotiate a higher pay.
Well, it is higher than what I
Oh,
have
it's
now.
just not.
I did negotiate up the PTO time because it would have been a downgrade from where I am. So,
Yeah.
but so it's the pay is a little better and the benefits are a little bit of a wash because of my health insurance. I'm probably going to go with my wife's health insurance if we do this, because it's in a different state, and I'm assuming their group plan. I'm going to have to deal with network crap and all that, and it's easier just to go through her stuff. So, but I don't know. The company that I'm with, they kind of gutted our healthcare plan a little bit, so it's like a little bit less monthly cost, but our deductible went up to like 12 grand or something like that. So it's like I'm never going to see those benefits unless it's a catastrophic type thing. So, well, my wife's is a little bit better that in terms of the deductible, though it's a little bit more per month. But so I don't know. We'll see. But I think the work will be good. That's kind of what got me into looking at Elixir. Is they had some work that was going to involve Elixir that they might have me work on. So I'm like, well,
Might.
yeah.
Well,
Well, they
then once
might.
you accept the offer, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's dependent on,
Have you
had
worked on legacy?
I accepted it, last month or whatever, the work, because they have to set up a team and get that cleared with the actual, client and all that stuff. So yeah, I might just miss the train on that. So, but we'll see.
Have you done any more katas in Elixir since within the last 2 weeks?
No, I keep dinking around with little things, and I'm just like, this is it's so frustrating because I don't want to write code that's just little things, because I know I'm capable of doing more in other languages. So I keep focusing on projects that are too broad in scope for what I need to actually do, which is learn the thing.
You never thought about porting something to Elixir?
I did, but I just haven't found the right project. I wanted to do hacker rank problems with it, and the first one that came up had an Elixir as an option, and then everyone after that, like, I go to the drop down for the language, and I don't find Elixir in there. I'm like, son of a bitch, because I don't know, the hacker rank just has a bunch of random coding problems and stuff like that. So I felt like it would be a good one to do, but I suppose I could do Project Euler or something like that just to get that figured out.
There's you saw the business rules kata, right? I've shared that with you before.
Yeah, I also just don't like, I don't know why nowadays, like, writing software that isn't going to be used or doesn't have a purpose is also kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't see an end game for it, it's hard to get the motivation to write it. Like, if I'm like, oh, this will be part of a product or this will be part of a broader thing, then yeah, but or somebody might find this useful.
You can do an IoT. Wire up your doors and track how many times it's interacted with, and then develop some metric reports on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other morning, and what I should get into is, and they probably already have. I mean, if I've thought of it, they already have it. But is to look at creating smart devices for campers, like something that'll read the propane level or pressure that you have and send that to your smartphone, and will tell you when your your gray water and your black water tanks are getting full, and I don't know, the battery level, and then just like, ability to turn stuff on and off with your voice, Alexa type
What's
stuff.
Hold up. What's gray water? What's black water?
Gray water is like your when you wash your hands and stuff like that. Black water is like your crap and pee. So there's two tanks usually on a camper. There's one that holds the black water and one that holds the gray water. So
gray water seems like it's not drinkable.
It's not. Your gray water is like you're washing your hands, you're washing crap in the kitchen sink, that kind of stuff.
So that's only for campers, right? At home, like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh shoot.
There are systems that'll take the gray water. There are systems that'll take your gray water in the home, I think, and push it through your black water. Or, I mean, it'll go through your, like, we don't use these terms in the home, right? It's like it's all just down the sewer. but in campers they have them separated. So generally, what you do is you flush out your black water and then you run your gray water through to clean it all out. So, but anyways, just to have the sensors to and your holding water tank too, I suppose, could have a smart sensor on it if you could design it correctly to tell you when it's full and stuff like that. So I'm just thinking about this. I don't know if there's really a like I haven't really looked it up though. There's probably devices for smart campers or technology like that. I know there's manual gauges and stuff you can buy for batteries and that, but to have it all kind of like the health of your camper in your hand, who knows? Maybe this is an untapped market. So
I remember when I was learning WPF, I had built a checkers game. That was challenging. I had animations when you would move the pieces back and forth and stuff. But I was going to say, yeah, consider building a board game or something. Which is, it's kind of very front-end-ish.
Yeah. The other thing with Elixirs, like actually writing a game would be one of my go-to things for it. With Elixir, there's no real good, like it's a server language. It's not a front-end language. So there isn't like UI, good UI frameworks or options for it. I thought about doing like using ports and passing data back and forth, but I don't know. I think it feels like hard mode. Plus .NET 5 came out, so now I'm interested in getting up to speed on the latest advancements. And
are there any advancements, or is it just them trying to consolidate all the different platforms into one API?
That's mostly it, I think. There's some performance stuff and all that, and source generators, I think, is technically part of the whole framework. Yeah, it has to be, right? But also C#9. I haven't looked at the new.
C#9.
We finally got records, man. Value types.
And it still feels. I mean, I'm a hater, but it still feels awkward. Like I studied I reviewed the records, and it's still more ceremony compared to F#. And it's like it's .NET, dude. Like C#, F#. Like why is the industry fighting? Just you can interrupt between the two. Like it doesn't all have to be C#. If you really want those features, you can go to F#, dude. Like why are you trying to do all this ceremony and do all this crap that the language wasn't intended for? Yeah, I understand that it supports the feature, but it's still effed up. Like it's just, I looked at records and then I was like, okay, this is still verbose to me. It's not F#. If I didn't know F# and I saw records, like, oh, this is awesome. But because I know that there's easier syntax and more concise, I was like, it's .NET. It runs multiple languages. Why don't you just write a library in F#? Like that's the part that I don't know. I just get kind of frustrated because I feel like the more C# adopts more and more FP, the harder it is for me to convert people to FP. And I know other people are going to look at it differently. Like, no, they're easing people into FP. I don't think they are. They're C# is not FP. As
No,
much
I
as you
think
try to adopt FP styles, like it's not FP, and people are going to treat. Scala has the same issue. I mean, it may not be the same issue, but like I mean, I hear rumors of people that are Scala developers that are just writing Scala syntax for object-oriented code. Like they do object-oriented programming using Scala, and that's not
yeah,
what.
they could do the same thing with F# too. But
Oh, it's. I don't think it's as easy. Like F# has crazy syntax to do object-oriented programming. If you learn how to do object-oriented programming in F# and you still can't do functional programming in F#, the chances are extremely minimal. Like
yeah, but it's like they are easing. The idea is that I think that that now that machines are strong enough to handle it, FP is a better paradigm for sure for most things. But there's so much stuff in C# like there's so many people who know it well that you kind of what you have to do is you give them the carrots or the pieces to allow them to use some of that goodness in what they already know, and then for those who are able to take the leap and do that and are allowed to actually do F# or any other functional language, then they get the full benefits of it. But sometimes you have to see the benefits first too. If you're skeptical to begin with, it's like, well, I've got to go learn a whole new language. I've got to learn a whole syntax. And I don't even know if it's worth it.
no, you should never join the industry. Like you can't be in the industry for 10 years and like, no, I don't want to learn anything else. Like you chose it. Like it's technology. It evolves. Like
Well, yeah, but you can be a perfectly functional, like a perfectly functioning developer in C#. Spend your entire career in it and probably retire, and you're going to be fine.
yeah, until someone else like me prefers F# or whatever. And then when you're comparing the two, you see that this person is getting things done a lot faster and has a lot less bugs. Like, and that's
Yeah,
I'm
you have
serious.
to get more
Like
jobs first.
what once everything looks fine
Yeah,
until you insert somebody else in there that maybe has different technology that I don't know is 20. It's 8 years more advanced than C#. His F# was 2008, maybe 7 years more advanced, right? You get someone new that uses different tooling, and then you say, okay, is this person really delivering as I expected? Why is this other person kicking out features faster? Why does this other person have less bugs logged against them that are legitimate? Like it's hard to measure unless you throw someone else in there that has a different paradigm of building.
but you can get that out of an F# or a C# developer too. Like that was where I think I landed, is that I have a mix of functional and object oriented and procedural programming when I'm doing development. It's all just mixed. Like I prefer to be not use null whenever possible, to be immutable by default, and stuff like that. But I still do things like dependency injection and write interfaces. And yeah, there is a lot more typing you have to do, which is lucky that a lot of programmers are good at typing. But that's what I get a lot of it, is that your code's not buggy, and I don't write tests.
But my argument is like you can use the example that you proposed of like they're a seasoned C# developer, they get things done, and we can say the same thing about a C++ developer that uses Microsoft Foundation classes, that framework, and say what happens when you put a seasoned C# developer next to them. and you give them the same project, what's the likelihood that, since they're both seasoned, right? What's the likelihood that the C# developer is going to deliver faster and not have to deal with not have to spin their wheels on certain bugs such as memory issues and stuff like that?
I think it depends on the problem, probably.
Well, you're allocated memory and releasing memory, period, when you're a C++ developer. I mean, unless you're using the latest spec and they got some new, like, I don't know, smart pointers, whatever that stuff is. The whole purpose of a language is to address common issues. And so that's my argument is the answer is if they're equal when it comes to productivity with their language, your higher level language is going to win for writing line of business applications.
Yeah,
that's my argument.
for
it's the
line of
same
business
thing.
applications. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I get that it's a superior, language with a mostly superior paradigm. But it's just the matter of where we are in terms of there's a large talent pool in C# and people aren't allowed to necessarily explore F# freely, mostly because people don't want to have a split of then 3 languages that developers have to deal with usually. So, because it's JavaScript, maybe TypeScript, C#, and F#, there's a lot of mental overhead. You start to get some diminishing returns. That's exactly why I haven't been coding in F#. Had I have the opportunity where I felt like I could go do it, I would do it. And I have actually spent time just modeling the problem in F#, and then just building out stuff in C#.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of having I don't know, what do you call them when you're just, are they considered enumerations or
discriminated unions?
Yeah, if you're just like, this is this string value, or not string value, but like
type alias.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it like an enum? I don't know.
Hold on. In F# it's discriminated unions that have data attached to them, right? So each member of that.
If it's just a constant like name, like you can do that kind of thing, right? I might be having morning fog here. But if you're going to do like, if you're going to, let's say, model the cases or the what is it in cards, the suits or whatever.
Yeah, I got a blog post on that.
You'd have like a name like clubs, right?
I actually did that when I was learning F#. I'll show you the link. There's longer cards. Gotta say cards.
Yeah. So like you have typeface equals 2, 3, 4, 5. Like what is that? What is the data type called there? Because like I think in Elixir that'd be called like an atom. In C# would probably be, the closest thing would probably be an enum. So like type suit equals, or I'm looking at blackjack, but type suit equals spades or clubs or diamonds or hearts, right? What is that data type called? It's just called a discriminated union. That's just the name of it.
Yeah, it's just called a discriminated union.
So is it stored as a I just wonder what the storage looks like for that thing and how it's, I don't know.
You can always use ML Spy, right click on the DLL or on the file and see what C# code gets generated from the missile.
Yeah, that's what they should do. But anyways, I like this. I like that syntax of being like type something is these possible things and defining that way.
It's called the term is discriminated union, but if you want other people to understand that aren't academic, you could just call it a choice type.
Yeah. Okay. Choice type. Yeah, but you can, but you can take like a choice type, and it can be of any data type, right? You could say suit is
Yeah.
spades, clubs, hearts, diamonds, one,
Timer.
string called potato, whatever the heck you want in there, structure of a billion things,
Yep.
record. Yeah, so it's one of these things. But what spades itself, the actual term spades,
Well,
on its own, what is that? It's just a, because you don't
it's
define that as a type somewhere else. So what is it?
it's
It's a literal of sorts, isn't it?
if you say, you could say type, my type equals, I wish I had the thing in front of me. It's kind of it's a wrapper of data. Like, I don't know how to really explain
Well,
it.
no, just not suit now. I'm talking about like if you just take spades alone, just the term spades. What is
Yeah,
that?
but your spades wraps around. It can be viewed as an enum, right? But I don't, behind the scenes, it's not an enum. Like, you're asking the wrong person to explain it, right? Because I'm going to give you misinformation. But if you say type suit equals, and then the very first member is spades, and then you say of, and then you say integer. If you chopped off the of integer and you just had equals spades, it would resemble a enum or a constant, but behind the scenes, I don't think it's an enum because that chart supports enums, right? And it's a completely
Mm-hmm.
different type, right? So yeah, I'm not really able to answer it for you.
Yeah, and you don't have to. I'm just, like I said, I'm curious about that because I don't. Now I'm trying to fit what I understood about Elixir and Erlang, which is the concept of an atom that they have, which is they're I don't know, they're like unique constants that are just their name. It's and they're it's funny that they do get like allocated, and you can reach a limit on them. But like if I was going to model suit within Erlang or within Elixir, I would have, well, in a type spec file, I would define type suit equals the atom spades or the atom clubs or the atom diamonds or the atom hearts. So I just was wondering if it was the same kind of situation here, but
I don't know. You could write a card game.
Yeah, maybe I should write my. There was a game I was going to do for Ludum Dare once where it was a dungeon crawler, but the combat was going to be poker. So that, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun.
I've been binge watching YouTube videos on LG Class G 65-inch TVs. It's like a $600 difference between Class G and Class C. And I mean, $600 is significant enough, but I feel like I'm kind of bougie and I'm willing to pay for like the aesthetics, even though it's the same picture. It's just the aesthetics are different. You don't have any plans to upgrade your entertainment center?
No. We have we bought like a 70-inch TV, like, I don't know if it was like 5-6 years now. So it was like when they were like still $2,000. We bought a 65-inch Samsung like Black Friday was it last year or the year before, just for whatever. And I don't know, like I used to think like, okay, once I get enough money, I'm going to buy all this computing equipment and all of this stuff. And now that I've got the capability to do all that, I don't I haven't really upgraded much of anything. Like my tower is probably about 5 years old now, and I'm just like, I don't know.
It's you remember my neighbor was telling me that he still has a CD changer that takes five. I thought no, he said it takes like 200 CDs, and he's very proud of it. Remember, like the like times have changed because I
Yeah,
think people used to put that in like in their trunks, and that was like like hella tech, and especially if you're in like car audio, you have your CD changer. It takes like 200 different CDs, and you have it like professionally installed, but it's wired in your trunk somewhere. But you
I'm
have
sorry.
your radio dashboard.
Yeah, and then you've got your subwoofers in the trunk, and no.
Yeah, I just gave away some car audio yesterday. It wasn't even open, man. I gave away some 6.5s, four 6.5s, and two tweeters that I bought like 8 years ago, and I never even opened it. But I still kept my closet is pretty much a sound system that's not connected. So I got some. I don't know if you're in the car audio, but I got some. I got some Solo Derek 12s. I got 1100-watt Polk amp to run my door speakers, and I got a 2500-watt kicker amp to run my subs. And that stuff has been sitting in my closet forever.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I bought some. I don't know, they were 12s or 15-inch subwoofers, and I don't know what the hell it was. And I bought a deck for my car and everything, and I left the car in the high school parking lot overnight a couple nights while I was away, and someone went in and stole it all. So they, and the worst thing is like my car had actually been in an accident on the one side. The window was like just plexiglass, or it was acrylic glass. They could have just easily gone in there. No, they broke the window on the other side. So then I had two essentially broken windows, and
Why did you leave it in the parking lot?
I don't know. It didn't dawn on me at the time that anyone would thieve that. Um, but I don't know. I think it was at my wife's house that weekend or something. We just drove her car back, and I don't remember what the reason for it was. But when I went there, it was to pick it up. Yeah, sure enough, it was all busted and stolen, and I haven't gone back since. to, really, so to getting into car audio, that was my one foray into it, becoming a
This is
target.
this is Minnesota.
Yeah.
I thought y'all lived in a low crime area.
Well, we do relative to bigger cities, but I mean it's relative to population. But um, there was one of my brother-in-law's friends was just picked up for shooting a gun off in a bar, I guess downtown. Tried to actually shoot someone, but that it didn't fire. So then he pointed at the wall, and then he was able to shoot it, I guess. So he's like got picked up and everything. There's that stuff here. I don't know if it's probably drugs involved. Who knows? There's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of methamphetamine use and crime based around just that within a lot of small neighborhoods and stuff. Even when I was up in Thief River, which is relatively low crime, I got my phone stolen out of my car because I forgot it in there one night. And
How do I remove this stuff?
I don't know. I got the car stuck, or got my phone stolen, and I called the cops, and they're like, "Yeah, we have a lot of drugs in the area. That's probably what it was. People just buy it so they can, get their next. They steal so that they can get meth." So
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
yeah,
Surely there's a way to moderate. How do I? No, this is getting on my nerves now.
What comes in through YouTube, right? So you go
Is that what
through.
it's doing?
I'm guessing because they have the YouTube symbol next. No, they're on Twitch that you're getting those. So you'd probably have to go to Twitch and moderate it there. So I'm looking at StreamYard. They have Twitch and YouTube symbols next to their name, the people who are chatting in. And the two spammers you're getting are from Twitch. So
it looks like it's a bot because I mean it was rapid succession with 2 different usernames.
yeah.
This is bourbon, man. I started drinking
early.
It's not like I'm getting drunk. In regards to my passion project, I tried to work on it yesterday. I had a. How often do you upgrade Visual Studio?
It depends. Like I just updated it the other day for the release, but I don't know.
Every time you get a notification?
No.
I do it every time I get a notification. I spent the next half an hour trying to resolve compilation errors or install or upgrade NuGet packages. Like it completely throws off my sessions.
Yeah, I hate that kind of stuff too. That's the other thing about learning like a language is it's hard to get, and that's maybe why Darklang seemed so appealing at the time, was like just to get all of the crap in place to start working on something. And you either have to know the secret incantations or start with a template and then strip it down. And then I'm kind of pissed now because Vue, like I was getting okay at Vue, and I'm like, I'll just use Vue for like front end stuff. And then Vue 3 came out, and now I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to use Vue 2 because it's old, but it's kind of like in that situation where Python was, where hey, Vue 3 is out, but Vue 2 is still referenced everywhere. So it's kind of annoying. Man.
Is Blazor taking off?
I don't know. I don't know if it is.
No. If that's the answer, it means no.
Yeah.
I know .NET Conf. Did you follow .NET Conf the last 3 days? Neither did I. I was checking on the news to see if they made any announcements. No.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
I have put Blazor in because we're doing an assessment for someone right now, and you know, part of it is like what platform would they write code on in the future, and I think you know, I think Blazor would be a compelling use case within an enterprise because you can reduce JavaScript out of the, you know, not entirely, but somewhat out of the equation, and do some code reuse and still get the benefits of a SPA type thing. So I hate SPA now. I don't think that's a good term. Do people still use that, or is there another term that's taken over?
I don't know. I'm a mobile app developer, so that term doesn't really. I mean, I know what it is, but
yeah. But anyways, I think the use case is compelling in an enterprise where you've got control over the network and you're not. I don't know. There's just a more compelling use case.
Oh, so you're talking about
your development.
You're talking about server side Blazor. You're talking about server side Blazor then?
No. Either or.
Well, you said when you control the back. You said when you control the back end, and there's two different.
It's more when you control
versions of Blazor, right?
The network, because isn't it? I've heard it's kind of a big download, isn't it? To get the WebAssembly version.
No, I've never even experimented with it. I hate web development. I understand that Blazor addresses the reasons why I hate it.
JavaScript.
I hate trying to figure out how to write. I still don't know what a div is. Like it, I don't understand divs. I look at the books that I have for UX design, and they're all sprinkled everywhere, and it's just not clear to me what it does.
Page division. It's just a general purpose tag.
To me, they feel like they're just tables, right?
No, it's a general purpose element. You could probably reduce the entire, like, all tags down to div, and then just build everything on top of it with components. Named components, because it's just saying this is I think it's division. Is that what the long form of div is?
Oh no.
But it's not special purpose. It doesn't have any specific behavior or styling, default styling attached to it. So, division.
I'm so used to. I mean, I'm pretty good at building user interfaces using XAML, and to do it in HTML is just believe it or not, even though they're both flavors of XML, it's just a paradigm shift. Like, it takes me forever to do something basic in HTML that I just don't do it.
Yeah, I think, if you're sticking to a single browser, that helps the situation, because then you're not dealing with cross-browser issues. But I like the UI better in HTML and CSS for sure. And when you add on like a component framework, if you can get a component framework on top of it where you can define custom components and encapsulate behavior like that, that adds to the effectiveness of it. But then JavaScript is usually, and the ecosystem around all of that is usually what is the part of it that just drives me nuts. Like, it shouldn't, like, it feels like it was a regression, it feels hard mode compared to just writing server-side code. I don't know.
Is Node still a thing?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, full stack JavaScript development, but everybody uses TypeScript if they're serious about it. So, because you get type safety, and you can use the compiler rather to build scalable web apps.
Hold on. They use TypeScript on the back end to wrap around Node.
Yeah, TypeScript just compiles to JavaScript.
I know it does. I just didn't realize that people would take advantage of TypeScript on the back end for JavaScript development.
Yeah, probably. It's probably.
It makes sense. I just never considered it. I thought it was always like front end.
Nope. Yeah, TypeScript's a good language, though. If you should take a look at it.
Yeah,
it gives you a lot of the stuff. It might make it just bearable enough for you to do some web dev. Yeah, actually, I'd rather write HTML and CSS all day long compared to dealing with frickin' JavaScript, though.
You don't do mobile development at all?
No. I've done some like Windows apps, but not real mobile development. No.
Who do you think is paid more, mobile developers or web developers? It depends. All right, yeah, I understand that part, but like, okay, who do you think is paid more? If both of the stories are cross-platform, right? That's the motivation. In general, like, who do you think is paid more?
I'd guess native app developers probably, because it's specialized. I would guess. And the job, like the available labor, is not as much, but the demand's less. So I don't know. I would probably guess.
How much does this PHP developer make? All 1 billion of them. Let's see.
I know there's still a lot of PHP out there.
Says Indeed.com claims $5,600 per month.
Yeah, it's hard to get a read too, because so much probably depends on where you live and where the developers are. So I think there's a lot more .NET developers in the Midwest. Their wages are probably lower. There's probably a lot more Java developers on the coasts. So it might look like you make more with Java, but that's just because of the pay differential between what you get paid in the Midwest versus on a coast.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
And there's not a lot of I mean, there's some, but there's probably less PHP and stuff like that.
I just realized, does this make any difference? Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. My name is Scott Dog. Does it make? It should make a little bit of a difference, right?
Yeah, you sound a little hollower. Oh, and I can hear myself.
Yeah, I just realized that my headset was in my phone, or my earbuds was in my phone, not in the actual laptop.
Gotcha. I wonder why I could hear myself for a second. That was odd. But
I don't know. Wrapping up. This weekend, I'll try to. This is where I'm at. I'm getting some funky Azure Service Bus in regards to diagnosing errors. I don't understand how to do it. It's a mess. Like, it's not clear how to. Oh, you have 5,000 errors. Okay, well, what are the errors? And I can't figure out what the errors are. Right? Like, it's a mess. I have a feeling that my errors are related to when I kill the application, Azure isn't notified that that my client has been killed and disconnected, and I think that the errors are pouring in from that of it lost a connection, even though I can't see what the error is complaining about is. So I've been a couple of days ago or 3 days ago, I was writing some logic. So every time you suspend the app every time you suspend the mobile application, it will go ahead and do an unsubscribe for every single Azure topic listener. And then when you resume the app, it resubscribes by spinning up a new subscription client. And then the subscriptions are running again. So I wrote that logic, and then I was trying to test it with my integration test scripts. And then I said, "Oh, there's a new upgrade for Version Studio. Oh, let me install that." And then I spent like 2 hours trying to resolve all these issues. So I would like to wrap up with subscription management by this weekend. We'll see. And yeah.
You ready to move to using SignalR yet?
I'm using SignalR. I'm using Azure SignalR to track locations.
Oh, I thought you were using to receive notifications and stuff.
No, I'm using Azure Service Bus on the client. I'm using Azure Service Bus. My client relies on Azure Service Bus to receive notifications of messages, aka historical events, and then it will go ahead and reflect that status of what's current in the order fulfillment pipeline. I use Azure SignalR for the client, or for the customer, and for the courier to track one another's location. So it's you're saying, "Oh, I feel like this is a conversation from like 3 months ago," and you're like, "Why don't you use SignalR for historical events?" And it's the motivation, I think, was because I need to pad my resume with cloud computing, in which, I could say Azure SignalR, but I think Azure Service Bus is more business oriented and will gain me more points.
I think you'd still have to use the Service Bus to do integrations between certain apps, but you have kind of a middleman that sits there and handles pushing those things out. Be a good use case for Elixir. It's for multi what am I thinking of here? For like push notifications and stuff like that, or for real-time interactions, and its use cases are pretty good. And I'm slow this morning. Sorry.
Cool. You can write it.
There we go.
But that's what I hope to accomplish is get my integration test working that unsubscribes, resubscribes, and I'm hoping that that's going to address my issues. But then it's like, okay, well, what happens if someone just drops their phone in the toilet or in the water and there's no suspend, right? Does that mean that I'm just going to continually just get errors on Service Bus, and when I pay my bill, it'll be like $5,000? Like, that's what I'm trying to like. And I purchased like $30 a month for Azure support. I just feel like I have to write them like a 5-page essay on what the issue is and everything that I've done to try to diagnose it. And I just don't have the energy to write that yet when I submit my support ticket. So.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Have you thought about the business end of this at all? Or is it mostly just about just writing the code, getting it proved out?
Yeah, it was food delivery, starting off on the beach where I'm at, between South Beach and where I'm at, with like like maybe 3 or 4 different restaurants to pick from. And then also a cannabis dispensary, however you say that word. I can't say dispensary. Dispensary. I can't say the word.
Dispensary?
Dispensary.
Yeah.
Mortuary. I don't know, whatever. And so those are the two faces of the client apps, or two face. Well, yeah, it's the same back end. It's just the difference in presenting or marketing what the user wants, presenting what the user wants. And so it's going to be like cannabis and food. I just feel like I'm going through the motions. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a clear end to like code complete. I just feel like, all right, in order for me to define myself and establish why I should get certain contracts or should be recognized for my technical abilities, I need to keep doing this, and sooner or later I'll wake up and I have something to show for it. And I'm just doing that. It's really like a marathon where I'm just in zombie mode, like, and that's it. Like, I don't really take the end as seriously as I do anymore. I just know that I've come too far that I just can't stop. So I got a lot of code, man.
Yeah. Well, it might be sunk cost, though, too. I mean, you've put so much time into it that you can't stop, but maybe, maybe you should. Have you ever thought of just building out just many tools and apps and just seeing if anything strikes gold?
Yeah, I did that like 13 years ago. Not 13 years ago. I did that back in 2012 with Windows Store apps. I pumped out like probably between 8 and a dozen different apps in 2012 for Windows Store and Windows Phone.
Mm-hmm.
And where I would have, it's a similar pattern. I would have the same type of back end, but I would just present it in different ways to solve different problems, but it was the same pattern.
Are they still out there? Did you make any money off of them?
Yeah, some dude in I think it was Dubai or something. They purchased one of my solutions, which was comprised of 3 different applications, and each of them were $300 a piece. And so, yeah, he bought 3 apps. He bought 3 apps for me for like $900.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it
they're
was called
standalone.
it was called
Standalone.
it was called Quote Builder, and so
Okay.
Quote Builder it was meant for contractors to go out to a site, plug in the materials, the labor, um, and then they could generate a quote that would be rendered in HTML, and then they could just go ahead and email that quote from their Windows tablet.
Yeah. I
Um,
probably looked at that at one time. I don't know if I would have, because I was perusing Windows Store like all the time back in when it first came out to see what kind of apps were there and to try to come up with ideas for things. Like I put out a couple apps, but
yeah, I mean, I didn't make that much money. I think I probably made outside of the guy in Dubai. I assume it's a guy. Outside of the person in Dubai that gave me $900 for like 3 different apps,
yeah,
between 3 different apps, I think I made like because I was yeah, I think I made like maybe $1,200. Um, and then the support part is like you wipe your hands clean, and people are like, "Oh, there's a bug," or "Oh, I really need this feature." And it's like I'm not interested in doing this.
I
So
know.
I'll get random emails from people, which I didn't even know my app was being used, but they're using it. And like, I mean, I'm not a UX designer, so the
Mhm.
application looks really really rough. But there's people that like are requesting features, and like, and I used to respond to them, and I just stopped responding. Like, and then some people like your app crashed. I want my money back. I'm like, well, can you give me a description of what happened? Like, what were the steps to crash it? This app is ish. Just give me back my money. I'm like, and I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, uh, I'm not going to give you back your money, but I can address why it crashed if you give me some more detail. And then they'll just leave a bad review. I'm like, because if I
Yeah,
give back your money, that I literally am going into my pocket, giving them back their $20, right? When Microsoft took a third of that. So whatever a third is, I don't know if that's $6 or whatever. Like I'm actually like giving them more money than because of Microsoft taking their cut. And so I don't know. I'm glad that I went through the process. I've learned a lot. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I wrote a proliferation of apps, and that was back in when Windows 8 was launched back in like 2012, 2013. I don't think any of that's. I think all that stuff has been like deprecated and removed from the App Store.
yeah. If you haven't done the updates, because there was like they did kind of like a
Purge.
new thing purge a couple years ago, and I had this similar thing about the support deal. I wrote an app that would have like it was called a wiki note, and it was just a personal wiki, and there wasn't like people were like, "Yo, where's the data for this? I need to." And I'm like, "Well, it's in this folder, kind of deep within the app bowels." It was because there's no way to like share the data through stuff, and I was eventually I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna deal with this." So I made like maybe $20 off that, and then I have this other one that was a really simple app, um, but I've made probably over $100 on it, and it's like a $1.29 per seat or whatever. So I've had a lot, but I get comments on it, and people just totally miss like they don't understand what its purpose was. So it's called Write Freely. I'll show you a link here. It's not in private chat, but the basic idea was like you go in and it doesn't allow you to edit anything you write. Like there's all editing is removed, so all you can do is output. Um, you can't actually like delete, cut, you know, um, overwrite any of that stuff. So it's just purely like type without editing.
Sounds like
And
Twitter.
yeah, but people would like think it's a people would think it's like like a notepad. They're like, I can't backspace, and then they'd be like all pissed and throw that in the and it's like, did you read the definition of this thing?
Where are the comments at? I want to read the comments.
I don't know. Where are the comments nowadays? I wonder
Or
if they
the reviews. I don't see them. Marcus always like, we can't make money if we let people leave nasty reviews.
Oh no, hold on. Let me look in the actual store here. They might be there. Screenshots, whatever. Like there's like ratings, but I don't see. I should really take my name off these.
It's too late now. When did you publish it?
Oh, reviews. Here we go. No spell checker and no backspace. Oh wait, no, that one was good. Need to be able to paste. Paste is needed. Paste functionality would be a counter to the purpose of this app. It's not a text editor. Yeah. There's yeah, it was just that one that I guess was bad. Like if this one star review. I think there was more, but maybe they got some of them got removed.
I also had wrote an app called Speech to Text, where like literally you dump in, you copy paste text, and it just reads it for you. So I think was that a Windows Store? I think that was a Windows Store app because I actually built it for myself. Where it's like I didn't have time to read articles, or I didn't want to read articles. I just wanted to listen to what the information was. And that was free though. So I've done that before. But yeah, I don't know any independent app developers. Do people still, outside of games, do people still build apps thinking they're going to make money?
No. Oh, I mean, it's in game land. It's about building tools, right? It's not about building these kind of one-off stupid little apps. But I think you could still have a compelling, app for certain things, like one of them, like I think building a competitor to Scrivener wouldn't be too bad of an idea. There's a lot of game tools that you can make probably a few grand on or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, you're never gonna. It's just passive, supposedly passive, mostly passive income with it. But yeah, people don't buy it unless it's really freaking powerful, I suppose.
I'm about to hop off.
Yep.
But what am I holding you accountable for next Friday?
I don't know. I have to decide on whether I'm going to do this job change or not. I'm leaning towards it. Like I think I just need something new. I'm in a
total. You say new. You said it was a lateral move though.
For pay and stuff like that, and types of work, but the work's going to be different.
What industry?
I think that they're contracting or consulting, so it's whatever. But I think their primary. I think they primarily deal with restaurant POS space.
Okay.
Oh, I do have another app out there. I forgot about that. One's free though. And last time I loaded it up, it was crap. So it's called Tater.
It's Taylor or Cater?
Tater, Tater. Yeah, it's I wanted to build something to use this knowledge I gained about how you can embed data in pictures by basically taking so you have a byte per color channel, right? You take the last two bits of that byte and if you modify it, they don't change the color enough to be that noticeable. So you can store data embedded in those pictures across those last 2 bits. So you get essentially a byte per color, or per pixel rather, because you get 4 channels. RGBA.
I can see terrorists and cartels using that app to trade messages back and forth.
Nah, it's a pretty standard.
It's well known.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's actually a key feature of this thing called Pico 8. You look that up. It's like a fantasy computer type thing. They have these carts that are PNG pictures that look like cartridges, but they actually have all of the game data sitting in the image, which I thought was a really, really cool way to do it. So like, I know you're going to get going, but let's see if I can find one here for you quick. I'll just grab one off of, need to actually get the cartridge. Where is it? Yeah, so like you'll have an image like, I don't know if I can share this on there. I don't know, I'll just send you the thing. So if you look at, there's like these images of like these pictures of like cartridges. There's like, do they look like little memory card images? They're actual pictures.
Yeah.
But they're like, those are literally, the game data is stored over them.
Oh, that's cool.
You can't really tell unless you like copy it out, put it into Paint, and then zoom in. You see these really, really small different changes in the way that the color is on the pixels. So like one will be, you know, you can't really notice unless you're, like I said, zooming in on it. But that's where the data is being stored. One of the carts is like, you can see that they don't have much data stored in it because it's only the first, like, there's only 2 stripes that actually have data stored. But yeah, it's, anyways, I wanted to use that feature for something because I had learned how to do it. But image encoding is a pain in the ass.
I bet.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's real. I'm gonna check it out some more. It's we'll catch up. You avoided my question about where you're going to commit to, but that's fine. So,
well, I gotta get the I gotta get this job thing figured out. But
okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't know. I'll work on something. See ya.
Yeah,
Bye.
see you.